Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And I hope everybody in Lafayette had a really good holiday. Nothing better than a summer holiday, huh? I like that. As as Polina would, I always think of Polina in the cold weather, and I'd imagine like Polina being like on a warm day, very happy. Anyway, Polina used to work with the webinars. But and let's get back to reality again here. Okay, so anyway, here we are. You can see Euro this morning trading at 112 even. What is that? It's moving down a little bit. I think we're still in a buy though, aren't we? That is line 14. Yeah, we're still in a buy. So we're getting squeezed there. Yes, indeed. The fact check sheet. Dun, 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 dun. 5 weeks in a buy, 2 days in a buy. So now how did it survive that? I don't know. But you can see right there, it is underneath the cell number now. So I would imagine what we will see is we will see the product possibly close in a sell. I don't know if it has anything to do with the Germany news and the Poland news and the shuffle but that could be a little pressure. There's no doubt about it. That would be a fundamental one, In other words, the movement in it today could be actually listed as fundamental. What we're seeing is that they're moving that 10,000 troop group. I guess it's like 9,500. They're moving them to Poland from Germany, and at the same time they're kind of firming things up a little bit more, moving 30 F-16s I think over there too, and some Hercules transports, and in other words, actually, taking what they do in Germany and moving it there, and then the Pentagon came out and said that Germany owes the United States $1 trillion in NATO money that they have not paid, and they said, you're the fourth largest economy in the world, and you haven't paid your bill in a long, long time. So I would imagine that could be putting the pressure on the euro also. So go figure. Finally, some fundamental part that has an influence on the marketplace. All right. All right, so there we go. You can see, like I said, we're in the wrong direction on the fact check sheet. Dun, 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 dun. And it always makes it back, so it doesn't matter. All right, now let's drift over to the cable, and let's see what they're doing with the cable this morning. And that one, same situation, 2 days in a buy, 4 weeks in a buy. And let's move that one onto the old screen. Oh, let me go back to J4X real quick on the euro. Yeah, and you can see this is trying to turn down too at the same time. That I wanted to see what they were doing with that. So you can see the line was moving up and then just boom down. Same like our work. Line moving up and then boom down. The white line heads down again. So just thought I'd quickly take a look at that. I don't know if the classic support thing going on right here. I know 54, you're synthetically long, and I don't think we've really had a conversation about selling some hedge to it. But that synthetic long is going to be feeling a little pressure in here from this. I don't know if we're going to see any real damage. We'll keep an eye out on the weekly. If the weekly goes into a weekly and we're in a daily sell, you want to definitely hedge that sucker off because that is a synthetic long you have on. All right. Now, brown cow. Let's take a look at cable and see what the cable is doing right there. And there's cable, 124.27. Is that up or down? I guess it's up a little bit, isn't it? You can see the candle's trying to lift up in here. So, dun 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 dun. On the fact check spreadsheet, you can see on line 13, it's at least doing the right thing. It's trying to go up. And let's see what they have a look at on the, where is it at? There it is right there. As you can see, now that's trying to go into the daily sell also. See that? It's dipping down. Now, I don't think they're pulling any military troops out of there, so maybe I may be a tad wrong, or they're just, again, it might be the game of sell the euro and sell whatever else you can and buy a dollar. And, matter of fact, I guess we'll look at the metals and see. I guess what we really should have is not only the spot and dollar, but I wonder if we could get spot gold and other currencies. That would be a very interesting thing to look at on J4X. And so that is where my little mind is working at. We really have become confident about the idea that gold and the metals in general are a currency outside the United States, and inside the United States they are metal. So, all right, and I guess that's about all we can say about that. Now, this is on J4X. You can see, this is lifting up, and not like our line. Our line is still rolling over. This thing is already trying to turn up, and you can see the rate of change trying to turn up, and you can see the dashed line is turned sideways. So this is trying to tell us that there's a little more strength in there compared to our algo. The Chicago Quant algo is trying to scare us a little bit there. We'll see what they do with that action. And I did look at the contango traders. The contango in gold is, what is it? I saw it 10 today. Now, I guess maybe the holiday could have had some effect on it too. It was up around 14 and 15. Now we're down to 10, dropped about $4 on the gold contango from carry trade, I guess you could say, from the futures to the spot. So, what else can there be said about that? Not much, I guess. I just know that they're selling the silver down, and they put gold, I think, into a sell too. Yeah, last night. We can drift around here a little bit since no one has a question. Yeah, so that slid into a sell. It's in its weekly buy, and then let's see where silver is. Silver is where did the weekly go? Where did the weekly go? Let's see. I think it was on number 12, right? So let's put 12 back in there. Don't understand how that got swallowed up. And let's go take a look at it now that we see there's an issue there about the spreadsheet. So let's slide over to silver real quick. There it is right there, 57. I think that's pretty much unchanged, isn't it? It's up a little bit. And there is gold. Yeah, and the line, how did we miss not putting a line in there last night? There we are. Whoa, not that. Cancel. And there it is right there. Okay, now let's take a look at silver. Now silver's trying to climb up today. That's interesting. You see that's trying to perk its head up. So there's a little strength in there now. You can see rate of change is moving up. Dashed line is moving up. Now the question is when is the white line going to turn? We want to see that thing turn and put some gusto into it. If it doesn't, then this is probably going to roll over again. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 weeks, not 12. 11. There we are. And we'll see what they do there. I don't. Again, I was talking with one of the other traders yesterday, and I was I'm totally convinced that silver is going to try to do a little zigzag in here, put a little pressure on it, and then climb back into a buy and then take off. Hey, 54. A little pressure on the synthetic long. Nothing scaring me yet, but definitely pressure on the synthetic long. All right. So that's where we are with the metals market there. We'll just keep an eye on that. Now let's take a look at the contango, or the carry in the gold. There's the spot is at 17, almost 60 now, and over in the futures contract, I think that makes it probably like around 71. Let's take a peek and see. 72. So it's picked up $1. It's almost picked up $2. So it was before the webinar started. It was trading at 10. Now the the carry trade is up to 12. Dollar yen, Doc, it is doing well. Yeah, and I posted an interesting story about the cable. We really came across something interesting there yesterday, that presidential thing on the cable. Let's take a look at dollar yen. Well, there you go. It's trying to perk up. Aren't we in a sell on that thing? Let's see. Let's go to the the fact check sheet. Yeah, see, we're in a sell and a buy. Okay, so we're in neutral. So weekly sell, 2 days in a buy. And let's take a look at it here. There it is there. You can see it here, green dots now, 2 days. You see the line turning up like the white line here on J4X. You can see everything's turning up in there. And I guess, it's right at the weekly buy number. So that's interesting right there alone. A very dangerous pair. Yeah, I don't know about dangerous, but boy, did we find some interesting things there. Let me show you what I posted. And then we'll do it on Dukascopy. Dukascopy goes down to 2004. Last night I was able to go back as far as 1976. Yeah, I went back all the way to Richard Nixon. It was a real interesting eye-opener there. Let's see if we can find it. Was that the GBP yen right there? And I'll show you what I was looking at here. Let's see, not there. Let's open this up. There we go. Dun, 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 dun. Matter of fact, I'm thinking about putting that on the spreadsheet, the GBP JPY. Not thinking about it. I am. I'm going to put it on there. Doc is totally convinced. Oh, here you go. Let's see. Let's contract this. There you go. Now, this is a monthly of our work right there. And these are set up on the presidential. That's the initial presidential election. This is the second term. Same thing here. Initial presidential election. The term is developing right here, just like that one did. And so, interesting. It looks like it's getting ready to make a big turn on the upside. Now, this is a monthly chart, so I mean, this is well long played out. You know what I mean? But why do you think it's dangerous? What's the? Your answer might help me understand it a little bit more. I never even thought about the trade until yesterday. So that's the product right there. And to me, it's kind of like I don't know. It seems to be like part of some type of presidential cycle. And then, like I said, I was able to go back all the way to 1976 on another charting service I have. And it was fascinating, the same characteristics. So I'm going to do more research on it, but it's definitely insightful. And then you can see, obviously, the monthly with a gas 5. It is very insightful on a monthly. Let's see if we can make that wider. See where it goes into the sell here, slips into the buy. We get most of the action here, a little correction in that little teeny spot there, and then back into the game again. And then you can see when this thing goes into a monthly sell, it's kind of interesting. Right there again. Matter of fact, this is all underneath the monthly sell. Let's see if we can make this wider like that. You can see here that it doesn't really get through. Maybe that gets through the plus, but the histogram is minus, so this all doesn't survive. This never gets into a buy. This all stays in a sell because the histogram is minus. That's number. Let's just double check, but I think it's number 5, right? No, it's number 4. Okay, so plot 4. So that's minus on plot 4. That's plus. Okay, so it does go into a weekly buy there. I mean a monthly buy there. And then the following month it stays in it, and then it goes into a minus. Right there. I guess this whole slide so it doesn't catch that. Interesting. I saw it several times rise and fall 1,000 pips in a day. A day? It tangos with the stock market heavily. Yeah. Looking at this action here. Let's see. Let's bring that back a little bit, because it's definitely showing presidential election type stuff. Look at that. It's cycling on that. So no wonder it's following the stock market thing, or the vice versa. Who's following who? We're not sure. But one thing is for sure, it is action packed. That is for sure. Yeah, we're going to keep an eye on. Like, I'm thinking about replacing the New Zealand. I'm not sure if the New Zealand or the Swiss Canadian. What do you think? Swiss Canadian or New Zealand? Or here's my last one. I'm thinking about the Euro Zloty. Removing the Euro Zloty. It seems to have done its job. They call it the beast. Do they really? Wow. All right. I say we bring on the beast. If anything can ride the beast, it'll be our math. That's for sure. So yeah, I think my last decision was Euro Zloty. Let's see what other thing. I like keeping the ruble up there. I like keeping the Euro British pound up there. And I really enjoy now having the Euro Aussie up there because of the stock market. So you like that, huh? I like it too. If anything's going to ride the beast, it's going to be Doc's math. That's for sure. I guess that's like the challenge of the challenge, I guess, But I'm trying to figure out who to replace. I want to replace somebody. And it's a choice in my head between Swiss CAD, New Zealand dollar, or Euro Zloty. One of the three. What do you think? Which one do you think is the least paid attention to? Do you think we have a lot of Kiwiers tuning in just to see where the Kiwi is? We'll wait for his answer there. All right, we'll drift over to Turkish lira and see what it is doing. What it's doing right there. It climbed back up again. Hard to believe, but it did. You can see now. It's back in the buy again. Look at that. More green dots than a lawn. And so this thing just keeps on climbing. Back in the buy again. So it just doesn't stop. Swiss, Daniel says, Swiss CAD. Get rid of Swiss CAD? Okay. All right, we're going to put the beast in there then. So we can always add, if someone wants to know where the Swiss CAD is, we can always give it to them. But there's definitely justification to have the beast in there. I like that. I need to talk to a Forex trading desk. I don't know all the little haven't heard all the little names people have for things. I remember the old days when I was a floor broker on the currencies. And being a floor broker, I heard all the different pairs trades by all the trading desks around the world all the time. But that's back in the 1980s, and early 90s. I've been trading currencies away from the exchanges now for a couple of decades. So, all right, that's who will get switched next week. We will switch the CAD Swiss to the beast. I like that. Okay. All right, now let's take a look at Canadian, see what the Canadian's doing here. Do 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 do. Let's see, Canadian. We looked at the Mexican peso yesterday. It was kind of interesting. I don't get a chance to really look at that. But under President Trump, it's been really sideways to nowhere. Not very active until the coronavirus. Sharona. Dun, 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 dun. All right. Let's see. That is the CAD. You can see. Look at the white line on this thing. It's moon rocketing, and you see the ROCs dropping, and you can see our dash line just turning up in there. I wonder if that has much to go on. I haven't seen anything that there's our work in the daily buy, weekly sell situation there. As you can see, where's that line 20 right there? So 1 day in a buy, 5 weeks in a sell. No real excitement there. You can see that the weekly is a good distance off still. And you can see here it's trying. And I don't know if Trudeau's done something crazy again or not done something crazy again. Usually when he's done something that they, freaked out, when he does it and freaks out the society, usually the Canadian goes up in value. Now, the only thing I can semi-guess, another fundamental concept, and that is maybe oil. Oil did go into a daily sell. What's it now, 2 days? Yeah, there it is. Oil right there. 7 weeks in a buy and 2 days in a sell. Let's take a look at Earl. The Duke of Earl. No, that's still going down a little bit in here. Whoa, look at the white line. Smack-a-doodle city dropping like an elevator. Like it was here. When it was dropping like an elevator, and these things were still trying to figure out how to roll over. The dash and the rate of change. All right, now let's take a look at her over here. Okay, and the answer to that question is, let's see, window. Right there, Augie Doggy crude. You can see it right. So you can see it right here, and you can see it right here. Same thing, rolling over, rolling with the homies. So maybe it's just a fundamental of the oil that's giving its push, Canadian can do that stuff. Daniel did a fantastic job calling a top on oil. Cool. Yeah, yeah. I mean, 41. That area is a resistance. Matter of fact, the 39s are a resistance. But in this case here, it's below that even now, the 37s. If this thing fell, I would think in the 33s, but that's not due to my math as much as if it's in a sell and goes into a weekly sell, I would think the 33s would be the place to be. Yes, go Daniel, go. I agree. Have you done analysis of individual stocks? Oh, sure. I got a couple people on my Chicago Quant Technologies chasing this one. Where is it at? I'll put it up there. Amazon. Everybody seems to. We have a couple of clients that are chasing Amazon all the time, which is really cool. I'll show you. Let's see. How was the holiday, Janos? There it is right there. That's Amazon. Amazon this morning, this is today live now, and it's going into the minus. But it started to roll over last night. There's the buy. It's been in a weekly buy all the way back in here. And it doesn't look like it's really making much of a challenge. It tried to do challenging in here for a couple of days, and we did go into a sell. I guess it was right there. Oh, not the background. Cancel. Went into the daily sell there. Yeah, we follow a bunch of stocks. Great. Sauna, swimming. Oh my God, that sounds like. Oh my God, that's I love that life. sauna and swimming, sun, beer, and we'll skip the beer, and I'll go to a more refreshing, like a mead or something like that. And barbecue. Oh yeah, that's the way to do it, Janos. God bless you. That's the way to do it. That's a holiday as far as I'm concerned. So you can see here, and then there was the buy right on that one. So it does a nice fine job. You know, you get into you're joining the weekly buy and the daily buy, and you catch some nice moves. You know, you take your profits when you see a sell, or you just take profits when it like the white line starts to turn down again, that type of thing. And you know, because you're not going to go short because we're in a weekly buy. So you know, you're not going to play any of these shorts here because of that. You're just going to play the buys as long as we have the underlining theme of the weekly buy, and that's that. You want to see what Tesla looks like? There's Tesla. Tesla's been in a buy since like way back here. Right there. There's the buy in Tesla. Ding. There's the buy in Tesla. It's tried to get near it, but it's not going into the sell. But the daily went into a sell days ago. I guess it was right up in here. There's the sell. And it's been a little down, but not major. You know, I mean, the stock's holding up pretty well. Yeah. You know, I'm going to try to make, what am I trying to make this weekend? Jambalaya. Jambalaya. I'm going to make some jambalaya. Do it out on the fire. All right. Let's see. What's next? And so that's the stocks. You have a particular stock you're interested in, Janos? Or let's see. 54 says, Doc, you started analyzing dollar CAD, then you jumped to the oil, but did not conclude on CAD. Well, I will jump right back. Thank you for keeping me straight. I like that, because Doc is like the proverbial kitty cat chasing the butterfly outside. You know, every time the butterfly goes by, whatever I was doing, I forget and I go back to it. So there's the Canadian. You can see here it's first going into its second day of a buy, and you can see a weekly's trying to turn up in here. And I'd imagine this might. What do you think, 54? You think this has much to do with oil? Do you think I would say that this could be more of an influence of the fundamentals of oil? You know, why don't we take a look at NASCAD? NASCAD. Where is NASCAD? There it is, right there. NASCAD is 5 weeks in a buy and 3 days in a buy. And you see where oil has been moving down the last couple of days on J4X. So now let's move the NASCAD on there. And chances are it's probably trying to do the same thing. No, it's still firm. Still firm. You know, yesterday they tried to put a little push into it, but it didn't seem to happen. But yeah, that's it. That's what I'm figuring with the let's see if I can find NASCAD now. Where are you, NASCAD? That's what I'm thinking about. The Canadian. Okay, look at that. And you can see on J4X it's turning down too, but ours is dropped below the zero line. So the daily is pushing down. Even with it up for the day, it's going into a minus. Yeah, it seems like there are times where fundamentals can kick in. I think Janos probably did it best, you know, a year back or so with his video, you know, showing how to try to trade the fundamentals, and you know, and showing the reality to how fleeting their follow-throughs are. I think that's the best part of his video, was the idea that he was showing how the lack of follow-through, that was probably the big thing right there. And then it's gotten so bad now that the follow-throughs are even worse. And so he's not even willing to even look at that at this point in his videos, because where do you go from there if the fundamentals are lasting 1, 2, and 3 minutes and rarely running for hours and days anymore, and now that's not even working. The 3 minute is starting to become fleeting and crazy. Where do you go from there? I mean, there is nowhere else to go. I guess the binaries, that's the only thing else you could do at this point, is try to find a correlation of binary spread trades versus, or just naked long binaries like puts or calls in fundamentals, and what fundamentals have the most volatility, something like that. Janos, that might be a good idea. I stopped it when it was mostly clear that the damn economic calendars are mostly useless. Yeah, I know. They are noise. They're less noise than they should be. I mean, they don't. You're right. They don't do it. They have a different function nowadays from described in the books. Oh, totally. Most events did not even cause an increase of volatility. Yeah, matter of fact, it's always been classic in true volatility, option volatility, is that after the news, running up to the news, the volatility is high, and after the news, the volatility drops. Because it hasn't played itself out. And so yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes total sense. Oh, is that the old video? You do one publication now. Okay, we'll have to check that out. That sounds good. I'll go after that after the webinar. Yeah, that is definitely. Unfortunately, the fundamentals are like a rainy day. They come and they go. Like today, I think that we're seeing weakness in the euro, literally because of the fight with the Pentagon about NATO, and NATO actually saying, "Hey, Germany, you owe almost $1 trillion now. You're the fourth largest economy in the world, just Germany itself." And so that's got to be putting pressure on the euro. Not a lot, not as much as we would interpret fundamentals, what fundamentals should do. But without a doubt, it's definitely not doing what we expect them to do. So, all right, 54. Is that all? We got that all taken care of when it comes to the Canadian? I think we're really looking at an oil manifestation going on here. All right, now let's jump over. And is anybody wondering who Janos is? He's the head analyst at Dukascopy. So well worth reading his work. And if Janos had been born in the 1960s in the United States, he would have been a floor trader for sure. He's got the personality for it. He would have done fine on the trading floor. I could have seen Janos on the trading floor very easily. Since now there are no floors to be traded on. They're all gone. All right. Let's see. Where do we head from there? Oh, let's take a look at the Swiss and see what the Swiss is up to. And there it is there. 4 weeks in a sell. 3 days in a sell. Let's see what J4X tells us about it. Well, it's trying to lift up, that's for sure. And we are in sell and a sell. And not too much action, but you can see the white line trying to turn up in here. So is the rate of change. And even the slower stochastic, the dashed line, trying to turn up. Let's leave J4X up there and go hunt down the Swissy on ours. And there is Swiss. Yeah, it's even through the daily buy number on ours. So it's trying to make a turn back up again. You see it right there. Excellent, 54. And remember, don't get too panicky with your synthetic long, because it just looks just mild at the moment. And so since we're in a weekly buy, it shouldn't be too bad. We should find a bounce, but I do think we're seeing some fundamentals there more than anything else. Laugh, like as if we rarely get a chance to talk about fundamentals, So Let's see. Let's get rid of that. Close. Yes. Let's see. I got a couple too many up there. 4x. That's fine. Now we're good. All right. Now, do we need that one? Let's see. Due day future. No, we want to close that one too. There we go. Okay. So now, oh, I know what it was. I had the wrong one. So let's get rid of that one. Let's go with that. There we are. All right. So now with the Swiss, I mean, oh, where's that? Right there. There's Swiss. You can see the weekly been banging down. It's pretty low. You know, there's the 0 line there. So it's been banging low. And you can see the white line way down. Maybe it'll start to bottom in here. We'll get some action. Get daily buys can lead to weekly buys. That type of thing, you know. That does happen. All right. Now, where do we go? Oh, we saw the yen. We looked at that. Yen is right on the edge of a weekly buy again after only 1 week in a sell. And we had a, what do we have? We have it trying to get into a daily. Oh, no, it's in a daily buy. So it was in a neutral, right? Yeah, it's in a daily buy for 2 days. So this will be interesting. See if the yen moves back into that. And we're going to go to school, a lot of school on this GBP JPY. Doc, I'm long the yen, but short the euro. Well, that's good. Against your, and then you have at the same time, you have an option synthetic on. So that works out. It's doing that too. I mean, right now you can see it in our work. Let's go back to that. There's the yen. You can see that there. You know, it's trying to go up, you know, especially being in a daily buy. And let's just take a look on J4X real quick. Not that. There's one that's interesting. I just had to look at it. New Zealand yen. Just had to look at it. Just for the sake of now we've become, you know, Commonwealth to yen fascinated. Doc is fascinated by the Commonwealth and yen. All right, so, and then there's yen right there. And you can see it's guns blazing on the upside there. Everything's pointed up. And then vice versa, obviously, with the euro. The euro is underneath the sell number in, where are we at? Euro. You'll jump out in a second. There it is. Euro. And so you can see a little pressure in here. And even this is trying to, these two, if these things roll over, smack a doodle city maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I think one thing, as long as you have a synthetic long on, I think you want to definitely be short the futures. Even if you end up taking profits in the yen, don't be too fast to pull the trigger on the hard delta, solely because you've got I don't know how much gamma it is you have on the euro side, but how big the euro yen play is. But the gamma, see if you can figure out what the gamma is in that. See if it matches up to your synthetic long. Obviously, the synthetic long is a much easier thing to deal with. Options are always easier to deal with and adjust when they're put together right. Okay, now, and as long as you realize all the time you are in a synthetic long, then you'll know that you need to hedge. That's all. Let's see. So we've done the yen and the euro. Did we answer your questions there with yen and euro? I hope so. Absolutely. Okay, cool. All right. So now, let's see. Where do we head from here? Let's see. What currencies have we not looked at lately that we do look at? You know what? Let's go look at the beast. Let's see what the beast is doing today. And that is British pound yen. Yeah, look at that. Yeah, Daniel was talking about the 20, basically the 25, 30, 35 area. Then you can see here in J4X, it's trying to turn up in here. And do we have one of those? I think, do we have a daily on that now? Let's see if we do. GBP. You know what? We don't even have one yet. We have to put one together on that. Wow. So, wow, wow, wow. Let's take a look at that. Do it there. Format. We'll stick it in there. GBP. And do it again there. GBP. Let's see. There we are. And then let's take a look at it there. So there it is right there. You can see all that selling that's been going on with it. We did mark it down on the, where is it? We have 4 weeks of it there. No, wait a minute. Why is that in a buy? Why do we have that in a buy? That's interesting. What was I looking at yesterday that I put it in a buy? Maybe it was 4 weeks in a sell, I was thinking. But look at that. Do we have that right? Let's just double check that. Yeah, it's a weekly. All right. So it's been in a weekly sell for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 weeks. Not 4 weeks in a buy. Maybe I was looking at the daily? It could have been the daily I accidentally looked at. So it's 11 weeks in a sell. And you can see here, I guess it's like, what is that? That is the 25th. Okay, so this is the third day. Maybe that's what I was looking at. I don't know what I was looking at that made me put 4 in there. Let's make sure I have the right product in there. Yeah, GB. That's what's screwing it up. GBP dollar. Okay. GBP dollar. How the hell is that doing that? GBP. It's probably back in the sell again then. So, yen, right? Yeah. It's still doing it. Okay. Let's just double check it one more time. Both instruments. Yeah, okay, that's better. Now, how on earth... Let's go back to the cable for a second here. Yeah, that's in a buy. Okay, that makes sense. Oh, wait a second. Wait a second. Let's double check one other thing. Let's go back to the beast. Where is it at? Right there. Activate. Indicator. Properties. That's why. That's why right there. Okay. There's the buy. Okay. So it's been in a buy since here. There's the 4. Okay, that makes more sense. Okay. All right, there. All right, so we're back to the 4. That makes sense. All right, there we are. So that's in a weekly buy, and it's been going in the wrong direction because it's been in a weekly buy since, well, it almost touched where it got to. So it ran up, and now it's moved down. No wonder it's a beast. And you can see here, let's just double check this one really, really quick. Properties 1. Yep, okay. There we go. All right, there you go. Now we're making some sense here. I still think 5-year treasury is a key, Doc. If this is allowed to drop near 0, that is a game changer. You know, we saw, what did we see? We saw, I guess I want to say about in March, you know, in the height of the Corona 19 thing, with the economy shut down, right before that, there was what was it? There was like a hump in the yield curve. Okay, and so let's just take a quick look. See if we can find a quick look on where we are with that right now. But the yield curve had a hump, and they were driving. What were they driving? They were driving the 2-year to almost 0. They were doing that. They were like trading at like 909 less than a tenth of a percent, type of return. And so, I, at the time I had my doubts that it had any more meaning than just money managers trying to adjust things, because without real fundamentals anymore, it's awful hard for the money managers to have great influence. Remember, there was never, up until quantitative easing, there was never any entity that could deal with the bond. They called them bond vigilantes, right? Like, a gang, violence, that type of thing, And they used to call them bond vigilantes. And if you notice, they don't talk about bond vigilantes anymore, because I don't think they had. I know they don't have the influence, because the Federal Reserve now is the buyer of last resort. They can step up and hold the tail down. They aren't openly aggressive, but all right. So the 3-month is yielding 0.14, the 2 years yielding 0.18, the 5-year is yielding 0.32 almost. It's 319. The 10-year is yielding 664, which is really low, and then the 30-year is yielding 1.407. So the curve is fine. Now, before the Corona panic, the curve was all over the place, and the 2-year and the 5-year were reflecting recession, or something. I don't know what they were reflecting. They were reflecting something like that. They were reflecting like a recession. And so the bond traders were doing that, but they didn't have a lot of influence into the marketplace. And now, since the Corona thing, and I guess you could say the Corona thing is still on, you can see the yield curve is smoothed out. So 3-month is yielding 14 versus minus 20 something in the Boone. Let's see. I think I can get the Boone even too. Let's see. No, I didn't mean to do that. Don't do that to me. Okay. So let's see where the Boone is. No. Where do you see Peter? 54. Do you see where the I was thinking of Sharp Sense there for a second for some reason. Peter of Sharp Sense in Deutschland. He always used to be able to tell me where he saw the Boone. I'm looking for the Boone now. See if I can find it. I don't really see much. I'm not seeing the German Boone. So I would say that the bond vigilante. Let's get rid of that. The bond vigilantes, checking and saving. How about just go away, cancel and go away? The bond vigilantes have really died down. They don't, because the central banks are really the runner of the bond market now. They didn't have any real competition. The bond traders. Bond traders were able to do what they did, and there was nobody getting involved with them. Matter of fact, we can take a look at. I think we have the 10-year on there. Let's see. Let's take a look and see. But there's the beast. You can see there the 4 weeks in, and you can see it's been a daily buy for a couple of days here now. I guess we might as well put that in there too, since it's going to be moved up onto the bigger screen. So it's 2 days in a daily buy also. 2 January. No, not 2 January, just 2. There we are. 2 January. All right, you can stay 2 January if you want to stay 2 January. Let me just type it in. TWO. See if that does it. Good. There we are. So that's where we are with the beast. Now let's take a look at. Let's see if we can find the 10-year bond. See where the 10-year bond is. Well, no, I already told you what the 10-year bond is doing. Let's see what the what our algo is looking at on the 10-year bond. Let's see. And we can close the stocks. And then open. Let's see if we can find the 10-year bond. That would be interesting to see. I know on our spreadsheet you can see it. The 10-year bond is line. What is that? It's right above the Aussie. So it's right there. 10-year bond is 1 week in a sell and 5 days in a buy. So it's doing its cute little battle thing going on there. Where is ZN? Huh. It's not on here. We'll have to go hunt that down. All right, I think I'll put that on there for tomorrow. We'll just drift past that. Did we answer any of your questions there on the 54 on the bonds? I really don't think it's going to go. The Federal Reserve has no interest in minus, so I don't really think that the bond traders can get it to minus. They can mess up the curve though. They can. If I was Powell and I understand. I mean, in other words, if I understand Powell. Let's put it that way. I understand where his mind's at. I understand what's in his head. I really do. I feel very comfortable saying that. I know that's kind of weird, but I do. I feel very comfortable with that. And I would say, because I think he's very transparent. That's the reason why I feel that way. But I would say this: the Federal Reserve probably will not disturb the bond traders from reflecting a recession, but they will disturb if the bond traders try to take those bonds minus. Okay? Does that make sense to you? I really think that's the real ticket. I don't think they will ever let anything go minus now. That is, they've made it very clear that they don't believe that, they said it, America is not the right place for negative interest rates. And so they don't see that as like a positive. They don't see it as a strategy. They don't see it as a reality. They don't see any of that. But what they do see is, I think that they will let bond traders take the yield curve and mess with it. So in other words, if they lift up the yield or mess up the yield in the bond curve to reflect recession, I don't see the Federal Reserve interfering. That I don't see. Yeah, he will not allow negative interest rates. He just won't allow it. I mean, he'll do repos probably. He'll literally, they probably can do repos without even interfering with the regular market. In other words, they can buy and sell against themselves. When you can buy and sell against yourself, how do you expect bond traders to be able to even deal with that? I mean, you know what I mean? They've gone well beyond. Let's put it this way, as they say in the movies, we're not in Kansas anymore. And from the Wizard of Oz, and there's no way in the world they're going to let anything go minus when it comes to the yield curve. So they will literally buy from one pocket and sell to another pocket. So they'll buy from the bond traders trillions probably. They'll probably be willing to buy trillions. And the bond traders will be stunned that they're sitting there without a bond. And then they're going to have to answer to their investors why they don't have a bond position on anymore. Why do we put money in your fund? Yeah. Oh, totally. Not counting the fact that more than likely every day, whenever there's something going on that they don't like, they probably have some influence to trying to perk it. I was looking. You know what made me think about that was I was watching what Citibank was doing, and I think I think Citibank is owned by the Federal Reserve at this point. It's just the way Bank of Scotland is and so forth, and Lloyd's of London and all like that. I think it's owned by the Federal Reserve, a good chunk of it. And I just don't believe that they come in and out weekly or monthly. They come in and out minutely or hourly, and they try to make sure that there is no abstract influence look going on. In other words, like I said, I think they will allow the bond traders to play, but they will not allow them to go home with all the things that they've collected. In other words, I think they have to leave it at the playing table. And so I think that's where it's at. So the game goes on. I think that's the best way to look at it. All right. Let's see. Where are we? We're coming down to the end of this, right? So we've only got a few more minutes. let's. Anybody want to see anything else or view anything else, or wonder if we have a boon on here. Deluxe. You know what? I have one or two clients that are watching that stock STOOXX50. We're doing a chart on that. That's it's okay. It doesn't excite me like I mean it's not because it's an American ETF, so that messes with it. It doesn't make it work as well as I would like it to work. I mean, it keeps them in. What is this? This is Anglo. Oh, wait a minute. What do we have? Stocks here? Do we have stocks? I haven't even looked at this. I knew we had some stocks on J4X. There's Aussie CAD, Australian dollar. What are all these things? That is Babcock. Oh, boy, they used to be really big with the nuclear power plants. They had some nice equipment for the nukes. The nuclear power plants themselves, the water systems or something like that. Let's see. I saw British Aerospace right above it. That's what I'm figuring is BAE, British Aerospace Industries. I'm assuming that's what that is. Let's take a look at that. Yeah. I think that's British Aerospace. BAE. Let's see. Oh, Yana says yes. There are loads of them, but some price info lacks. That's okay. Not going back into history. Yeah, that's all right right there. It's just interesting to see. Do they have Amazon on there? Let's see if we have Amazon. I would love to see stocks from a foreign provider like this from J4X and play around with that a little bit. Oh, yeah, look at that. There's a lot of stuff in here I could go after. How about Babcock in there, huh? God, that's like my college days. Rickover used to come to I think he came once, but he used to come to our university, and he was always drafting one or two people out of the physics department all the time. Euro and Norway kroner. Interesting. All right, anyway. Wait a minute, I just saw something. What was that? Euro index? Okay, I've drifted way off. All right. Anyway, this is Doc from North America. We will catch you on TGIF, which is tomorrow. Everybody have a safe and healthy trading day. That's right. I'll go fishing there later on. I'll read your thing, and then I'll go fishing that. Yeah, that could be too. Damn Securities Exchange Commission is a pain in the ass. I hear you there, Janos. All right, thanks a lot, guys. What should we call this? I don't know what to call this title today. What is today's title? Should this be? Let's. Where did I start off with this webinar? I started off with just regular bonds. How about currencies against Forex against bonds? As a title. What do you think of that one, Janos? Forex against bonds. Well, I'll throw something like that out there. All right, this is Doc from North America. Everybody have a good day. Ta-ta for now. Happy trails to you.